Welcome to the Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to the Actor's Choice. Roll it, Tony.
I tried for days to go through proper channels, but I couldn't wait any longer. Mike might not have pursued her, but I sure was gonna. Hi, I'd like to see Carol Berry, please.
Is she expecting you?
Is anyone ever really expecting anyone?
So that's a no. No appointment, no seeing. Now you can call our 1-800 number.
No, you really can't, because I tried and... Can I just use your bathroom?
Employees only.
Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen, the key word that we say today is celebration. Now, you've just seen veteran actress Adilah Barnes, who 30 years ago got together with an outstanding bunch of folks and became the co-founder of the now renowned organization called the Los Angeles Women's Theater Festival. It's an annual multicultural festival that showcases female artists in the disciplines of dance, music, theatrical performances, spoken word, and comedy that has produced almost 1,000 artists. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the one, the only Adilah Barnes. Greetings, Adilah, and welcome to the Actor's Choice. Once again, we do this every year.
Yes, and I'm so glad that we do. Thank you, Ron, for having me back again.
Wouldn't have it any other way. I just got to ask off the quick. How do you get time to be an actress and do this? How do you do it?
One makes time and one prioritizes. So certainly if there is work, that becomes a priority as an actor.
God bless
and
you.
It helps to have a team, an able team. So I don't do it all. I am part of a team.
Indeed, indeed. I know that you have a lot to talk about today, so let's get started.
Okay.
We're going to start. Okay, ready, Sonny? Here we go. On Wednesday, March the 22nd, at the Theater 68, you're going to have a bunch of workshops and panels. There's a theater there.
That's a theater.
Right, 5112 Lancashire Boulevard in North Hollywood.
Correct.
Correct. Okay. So how many people can you get in that theater?
I think they now have 3 theaters. They recently remodeled. It's beautiful, beautiful. We have produced the festival twice there, but now it looks totally different. I love it. So I think at most, each of the theaters probably has about 70 seats at most.
Okay. On Thursday, March the 23rd, you'll have a an empowering voices of solo female performance for 30 years. That's at the Barnsdale Gallery Theater. There's the outside.
At the Barnsdale. That's it. That's it.
And then we have another picture that shows the inside of that venue right there. There we go.
Oh, you guys have done your homework. Wonderful.
299 seats up in there.
That's right. That's right. It's a beautiful space.
Now, on that day, Thursday, March the 23rd, you'll be doing the Empowering Voices of Solo Female Performance for 30 years. You'll have from 6:30 to 8 p.m. a gala reception, champagne, and award ceremony. Can you tell us about that, madam?
That's correct. So we will begin on that Thursday night. As you said, the Champagne Gala and Award ceremony starts at 6:30, and we'll open the doors at about 7:30. The show starts at 8, and we will be honoring 7 women with our different awards. Normally it's 5, but this year we have 2 who are sharing the Infinity Award, and that's Angela Lansbury and Denise Dowse. And we have 2 others who are sharing our Maverick Award, and that is actually Mary Apick and Bonnie Hay. So there are 7 women who we are honoring this year for the first time that many. So it's very exciting to be able to honor even more than usual.
You got some special hosts for that ceremony. Who that be?
We do. Returning again, our dynamic duo. They've done it year after year, so they've got it down pat. We have Ted Lange of The Love Boat, and we have Hattie Winston of Becker.
Indeed. Like you say, the team. They are the team.
They are the team.
Yes. Of course, Denise Dowse, we remember her. She was quite a lady.
Yes, she was. And in fact, she directed the last time that we were live. This will be our first time in 4 years being live in a theater because of the pandemic. She was our last director in 2019 before the pandemic. And that was actually at Theater 68, the same place that we're going for the workshops and panels.
Okay. Now we got a small video. Roll it, Tony, if you would. Celebration.
I don't hear the music. Maybe you guys can.
Yes, we can. Yes.
Oh, great.
That was the Bravo, that where you mentioned the hosts of Hattie Winston and Ted Lange. Let's see. Moving right along. Our next section is the Of Self with hosts Lois, and Ben Gilroy. Roll it, Tony. Oh my goodness. Eloise Laws and Ben Gilroy, they really put on good.
Eloise Laws, of the Laws, the very famous Laws family, very musical family.
And that is Of Self. Can you give us what's behind that Of Self?
Because each one of those particular performers is sharing with us personal stories about themselves in different ways. So we have one who is performing, and her name is Lynn Jassam. Her piece is Being Richard Green. And she talks about, even from a child, really feeling like she was in the wrong body, that she really felt like she should have been a boy. And so her piece deals with her sense of gender identification. And then we have Joyful Raven. She talks about a woman's right in terms of whether or not they choose to have an abortion, because we ought to have the right to choose to do what we want to do with our bodies. So it's very timely. And we have Monique DeBose, and she is biracial, and she addresses race and what that means in terms of being someone biracial in this culture.
These are all very serious issues that you come up with. Thank you. Thank you. They need
yes.
To
and there are moments that are very humorous, that are very funny.
Yes.
So people who join us, and I hope that many will, of your listeners, will be able to experience the journeys that they take us all on.
So it's not all tears, it also smiles.
No, not at all. That would not be theatrical. We're first and foremost, we're entertainment.
Okay. On Saturday, March the 25th at 3 p.m., you're going to do a culturally speaking event.
Yes.
Who are those two hosts?
And we have Akuyo Graham. And she's a solo artist. She has a piece called Spirit Awakening. Our solo shows actually were born the very same year. Okay. And then we have Margaret Avery of The Color Purple. They will be the co-hosts that evening.
Okay. Tony, can you go ahead and roll that video, please? Culturally speaking.
Yes.
And while I'm at it, let me take a moment to thank all the good people that you work with in your team. They provide all of the material that you, ladies and gentlemen, that we see. And
thank you so much for acknowledging the team.
And just so many people there working to put this together.
And over the 30 years, since this is our 30th anniversary, so many who have rolled up their sleeves along the way.
30 years.
30 years.
Let's go back for just a minute. When you first had the idea to do this, and you've done it all these years, year by year by year, what goes through your mind? What happened? How do you feel when you look back at it? What was that like?
When I look back, I feel really proud because I'm able to really take an aerial view and a rear view of all those who have been a part of us over the years, all the way from our performers, our board of directors, advisory boards, our sponsors, our co-hosts, our volunteers, our tech teams, all those who have made up the Los Angeles Women's Theater Festival over the last 30 years. And there are many, many, many to name.
All we can do is give them a hand. Give them
absolutely.
A hand. Oh, absolutely.
Bravo.
Bravo.
As in the theme on our gala night for the award ceremony, it's brava.
Bravo. Okay. Saturday, March 25th, 8 p.m. It's all relative. You got two hosts, James Reynolds and Lisa Reynolds.
That's correct. Husband and wife team.
Husband and wife team, yes.
Yes, of the Fremont Center Theater. And of course, James Reynolds has been the longest running African-American on a daytime soap opera on TV on Days of Our Lives.
Yes.
And his wife is the artistic director of their theater, the Fremont Center Theater. And that's in South Pasadena.
You get all the good folks, lady. You get them all.
We certainly try.
Indeed. Tony, can you go ahead and roll a video on that, please? Okay. Anything special about the three persons that we saw?
They're all special. Barbara Brownell has a piece called Finding My Light, Finding Me, where she explores the truth of who her biological father is. The man that she thought all of her life had been her father, she comes to find out after his passing, he wasn't her father. So she goes on a journey to find out who her biological father is. And many have taken that journey. So it will be relative for a lot of people. And then we have Dee Freeman. Her piece is Poison Gun. And as a 6-year-old, she was placed in the impossible position of telling what she knows about her grandfather's secret to the authorities. And this was in the South. And it's quite a story of a 6-year-old and the position she was placed in to tell what she knew about her grandfather's secret. And then we have Misha Gon's Circle, and she has a piece, tender, funny. It's called Hummingbird, about her mother, and it's a tribute to her mother and growing up in New York and being Latin.
Ladies and gentlemen, look what you can get. Get some tickets. Get the tickets you want to see.
Get the tickets. And they can go to our website to get them. So I know you're going to show where.
I don't have it. I have it right here. But it's not in front of me.
I know you have it. And of course, it's the www.lawtf.org.
Thank you. Adilah, you're something else.
Well, I try.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, on Sunday, March the 26th at 3 p.m. with the host Dawn Didowick, We the People.
Yes, with Kat Kramer. Yes. The two of them will be co-hosting, and Dawn Didowick, of course. She and I were in Erin Brockovich together. And then we have Kat Kramer, and her father is the famous filmmaker, Stanley Kramer, and she's goddaughter to Katharine Hepburn. So she comes from Hollywood royalty, actually. And that program, we have 4 performers. So some performers, on some of the programs, it's 3, and sometimes it's 4. And even I think for Songbirds, we might even have 5. We'll see when we get there. But we have 4 for the We the People program on March 26th at 3 p.m. We have Kirsten Laurel Kaplan. She has a piece called, Is It History or Is It His Story? And she has set up a context of contestants who are voting on who ought to be included in our history books. Very timely subject. And then we have also Helen Stolfus. She has a piece called Dispatches from the Great Burning, and she's taking a look at climate change. And that's also very timely, as well as Rosie Lee Hooks. Her piece, Agrio Speaks, and she will take the audience throughout, she'll weave throughout that program song and audience participation. And we also have Catherine Smith, who will be joining us, and her piece deals with the homeless, A Walk in My Shoes.
Talking about diversity. Wow.
Yes, and actually that's Catherine Taylor Smith. Let me get her middle name in there, Catherine Taylor Smith.
Yo, lady. Tony, can you run that one for us? We the People. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Next one up, Songbirds and Dancing Feet. Hosts Angela Robinson Witherspoon and Jude Narita. 7 o'clock, Sunday, March 26th. Roll it, Tony. you tell us what that was about?
And that one, I hear the other phone ringing. We're in real time. And the last one, Songbirds and Dancing Feet, that's going to be co-hosted by Angela Robinson Witherspoon. And John Witherspoon, the late John Witherspoon was her husband. And she will be with Jude Narita, who has been a solo artist for many years, before many even thought about being a solo artist. And her piece that she's known for is Coming into Passion, Song for a Sansai. I think that's how you pronounce that word. And then the performers for that show are Karen A. Clark. She'll be doing an excerpt from her piece, The Women, that focuses on the women in her family and their family reunions where everybody bake bread at the reunions. And I've never heard of such. And the fragrance of that bread coming out of the oven and just the closeness of her family. And Lynn Jassam returns again, the one who did the piece that deals with her gender identity. She'll return. And her piece is called Rhythm Anonymous. She's a tap dancer as well as an actor. And we have Julie Kim. She'll be performing two dances, Moonflower and Autumn. And she explores her traditional Korean dance style that she performs. Elena Pamela, she'll be performing two songs, All in My Head and Give In to Me. And we also have Vishnavi Isola, and she will be doing a dance, an Indian dance, Narmada, a river poem. So you can see the diversity of all of these artists, both in terms of dance, in terms of song, and also ethnicity and culture.
Gotcha. We got one more video we can show everybody. This is the official sponsors and the telephone number where you can get some tickets from. Official sponsors.
Thank them all.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Tony. Thank you. Adilah, what can we say? 30, 30, 30. I can't wait for 31.
Right. Well, we're going to just try to make it through 30, and we're really excited about it. Yes. And the jewel for the 30th anniversary, say a marriage or whatever, is the pearl. So that's why I have my pearls on today, and we're encouraging all the women to wear their pearls at the gala.
Well, Adilah, I want to thank you for another year. The Los Angeles Women's Theater Festival looks like it's great. And knowing you as I do, you're going to start working on next year when this year's over.
That's just about how it goes. Yes, that's the drill. That's the drill.
God bless you, my dear.
We're very excited about this year.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adilah Barnes. Thank you, Ms. Barnes.
Thank you.
This is the Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. We would like to let you know that we're asking our Actors Squad to help us get former baseball player Curt Flood in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Now, Curt, who passed away January 20th, 1997, is the husband of one of our wonderful guests, renowned actress, Judy Pace. All you got to do is go call our office at 213-349-3941. It's 213-349-3941. We sincerely thank each and every one of you for being a part of this magnificent award for a great baseball player. Okay? Okay. Roll it, Tony.
It's nice to finally have somebody who can give me a run for my money.
Oh, that was nothing. I just didn't want to show off on my first day.
Is that right?
Councilman, we'll see you tonight at the meeting.
Oh, what did I tell you, Esteban?
See you tonight, Rudy.
Muy bien, Esteban.
Oh my God, Rudy, this is Carla and Johnny. We all went to high school together.
Oh, look at that. Any friends of Lynn are friends of mine.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have just seen the first of two guests who talk about a play about a very interesting history. Now, the play also has two outstanding actors, and the gentleman you just saw, his name is Adrian Gonzalez. Okay? Greetings, Adrian, and welcome to the Actor's Choice.
Hi, how are you? Actually, I'm Ed Martin.
Well, right there, you are Ed Martin. How'd you guys switch around on me? I had it all set up.
I don't know. Where is Adrian?
Where'd he come from? Adrian, that was you. You're looking G-O-O-D. I'm sorry about that. Greetings, Adrian, and welcome to the Actor's Choice. Okay. All right, here we go in 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and roll the next one, Tony.
Hi, my name is Ed Martin, and I am playing Barry in Daniel's husband. Barry is a literary agent and best friend to Mitchell. one of a couple who are having a debate about gay marriage in this day and age within the gay community, I should say. I am gay, I am married, but much like my character Barry, although it's very easy to be supportive of it and say yes, then you think, but maybe not for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm still laughing from the first thing that went on a little while ago. Welcome to the Actor's Choice. Glad to have you both here. Now, I want to ask you a couple of questions. That being, there's a couple of joint questions because you're both going to be doing the same thing. First of all, where are you from, Ed? Where are you from?
I am born in Ohio, but I am actually Mexican. So a Mexican from Ohio.
Mexican
and
from
I was,
Ohio.
raised in northern Mexico in Mexico City as a child, and then moved back to the U.S. Yes.
Okay. Adrian, where were you from? Where'd he go?
Where is Adrian?
Adrian, where'd he go? He isn't here. Okay. Well, he didn't show. Yeah, he did show up. So we saw him briefly. Must be on.
Well, let's find him because he'll kill me if I speak for him.
Okay, good enough. Good enough. So this is the question. The next question that I have, it's a joint question, but it's one that I always ask. What made you get into acting?
Well, let's see. It's sort of like it found me. I didn't find it. I knew it since I was 5, 6, 7 years old. Both singing and acting, I loved right from the beginning. And I didn't really find my footing till around high school, but I still feel that I started pretty early. It was just like, when people have a calling, right from the beginning, I never doubted it. My parents never said they wouldn't support it. It's just, it's been my life, my whole life.
Wow. You do a great job. Yes. I looked at your bio. A lot of good stuff on there. A lot of good stuff. You obviously love to do what you do. I'm correct. Am I correct in saying that?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely. When I took a look, okay, make sure this is right. This is Ed Martin. Let me see this. Well, okay, Adrian's not here, but we'll go ahead and show it anyway. Adrian, he back in 2008, he had his first job. According to IMDb, he had a job on a movie called Bubble Rama. Adrian's not here. There's Bubble Rama. Yeah, that's what it looked like. Back in the day. That was his first job in 2008. Very interesting thing about it. When I look at you guys and whatnot, I look at the numbers. He has 52 credits, IMDb credits. And as I went through it, researching, that man had a job every year from 2008.
Yep.
He had a job every year.
One of the lucky few.
Yeah.
Right?
But and I'll take a moment here because on this show I always get in. I tell people about a bone I have with actors and actresses. They come into Hollywood, they want to be a star. There's nothing wrong with that. But they so seem to get the idea. They'll do film, they'll do television, but they don't do no stage.
Right.
What's wrong with stage?
And I'm totally the opposite. Totally the opposite. I came here. I was in New York for about 3.5 years and did some crazy kind of stuff. I came here. I've done some of the most beautiful theater that I've ever done. I've done in Los Angeles, along with the TV and film. But I've had some really rich theater experiences here in LA that I cherish the memories.
Indeed. Okay. Would you please bring us up to Ed? He worked in 1997. There's Ed. Can you put up his piece of paper, please? His photo. He worked in the first movie that you had was called Life with Roger, 1997.
Yes, that was a sitcom. That was my first TV gig.
Right.
Yeah, outside of commercials. That was a sitcom. It came and went pretty fast. But then some fun shows, Chicago Hope and Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Strong Medicine, some really good hour dramas and stuff. I've had a little bit of luck there as well.
Got you. You said quietly, and I liked it. I see you have a long, successful, and emotionally fulfilling career here in LA theater. Share that with us, please.
Absolutely. Yeah. Right when I first moved here, my sister said, because we were both fluent in Spanish, if you're not loving it in New York, get over here. At least with the commercials, we can do them in Spanish and whatever. I said, yeah, that's the plan, and do the TV and film, as you mentioned. But as soon as I got here, I started being cast in plays like Boys in the Band at the Fountain Theater, doing work at Theater 40, at the Colony, some of the most beautiful plays. And I thought, well, that stereotype about theater and nobody cares about theater in LA is just completely wrong. I've worked with absolutely wonderful directors, unbelievable actors. And again, plays that really made a lot of noise here in town. I found the community very supportive of theater right from the beginning.
We're making a lot of space in this town. You're doing a movie right now called Kiss of the Spider Woman, presented by a noise within.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Okay. Yes, the play.
The play.
Yes, and people immediately either think of the William Hurt and Raul Julia movie, or they straight up think of the huge musical with Chita Rivera as the Spider Woman. Okay. But this is actually a two-hander. It's a two-man play. It all takes place inside the cell. It is directly lifted from the novel by Emmanuel Puig, and it was adapted by a gentleman named Alan Baker for the stage.
Okay.
So you just meet these two people in their cell, Valentin and Molina.
Okay.
At a Noise Within in Pasadena, yeah.
All right. The gentleman who is responsible for all of this, because the PR says this is poignant, chilling, funny, and sensual. It's an intimate two-hander.
That about covers it.
That about covers it? Did I say that right?
We do everything but burn the house down, all within the confines of a little jail cell. Yeah.
Wow.
And it's been really great going through the rehearsal process with our director, Michael McKetty. But it's just me and Adrian Gonzalez. And we just look at each other closely in the eye to make sure nothing's going to go wrong. And, you shoot that arrow and you get to the end and you hope everything came out right.
Ed.
Yes, sir.
Go to your room.
Exactly.
You're too much. Tony, could you put that picture up of a gentleman by the name of Manuel Puig?
Yes, he wrote the novel in 1975.
He is a classic person, a.k.a. Juan Manuel Puig Deladani. That's his real name.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. There he is. Thank you, sir. There he
is.
Unfortunately, he passed in 1990.
Mm-hmm.
There's a history, because it got a very interesting title that you have. History of the play, that I noted that this play is a classic musical based on the novel by Emmanuel Puig. He's been on Broadway. He won Tony Awards, turned into a movie in 1985. Had all kind of stuff. What's the name? Chita Rivers was the first in the original cast.
Chita Rivera, yeah.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
In the original cast of the musical, I believe the movie came out first, again starring William Hurt and Raul Julia, and then the musical was adapted. And I believe it's around the time that Mr. Puig passed.
Yes.
I believe he passed before the musical opened with
in
Chita
1993.
Rivera.
Yes,
because the context of the play is one guy, Molina, is a lover of films and the classic films and the sophisticated, beautiful leading ladies that used to lead those films of the 40s and 50s. And he uses stories. He starts telling Valentin. Valentin is very political and part of a movement, and they're polar opposites, these guys. But Molina uses stories to escape the prison cell. And it's done very poetically. Everything's very conversational. The whole novel is written as a dialogue. It's not written in the third person. So I believe when they adapted the musical, the escape becomes these huge musical numbers. So it lent itself to that very well. But with ours, it's just the words. We're using the beautiful words to tell those stories, and let you sit back and see how these two people who have absolutely nothing in common come together slowly, learn to listen to each other and get to know each other and listen to each other's different point of views, which makes it a very timely play for today, because when you think about everybody being so divided, we can be on opposite sides, but if we could just sit together in a little cell together and listen to each other with respect, we get to maybe learn something we didn't know or think of something a different way, that kind of thing. And I think the value there's a lot of value in the play because of that.
No question. What is your role, please?
I am Molina, Alberto Molina. These are all characters. They said in the autobiography of Puig that he wrote about people who he knew. So Molina is described as a very effeminate man who loves the old movies. But as we were researching it and going through it here today in 2023, she might actually be a transgender woman more than an effeminate man. And so right from the beginning of the rehearsal process, we referred to her with the she pronoun and respected her as such. And I've completely fallen in love with her. There's a little bit of me, there's a little bit of my mom, there's a little bit of my aunts from Mexico, although this takes place in Argentina. Um, and she's just lovely. She's smart about some things, not smart about others. She's very confident about what she wants, but she's also very vulnerable and afraid for from people that don't understand her, you know, and from being used to perhaps being looked down on. I've just had the time of my life working on it.
And I see that you are grateful to make your debut at the Noise Within with this beautiful play.
Yes, yes. I haven't worked with them before. I was aware of them since they were back in Glendale. Now they're in Pasadena. They do beautiful classic and classical pieces and a lot of Shakespeare. And I believe this play falls in the category of classical in that sense, because as I said, the language is so braided, and so it's all about the words. And we hope we do it justice.
And there you are with your favorite director, Michael Michelli.
Michael McKetty. Yes, he's absolutely the best.
Yes.
Yeah, I've worked with him before at Boston Court. He's done many plays at Noise Within, including Frankenstein, and I believe Picture of Dorian Gray, which were just awesome. He has a huge vision, and he's very passionate and also very emotional and connected to us as actors. It's been a wonderful, wonderful experience.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. There's something that I wanted to ask, and that was being in a cell. What's that like? How does that feel?
Let's say it's cold and it's dark and it's damp. And there's only a couple of corners you can go to. You could sit at your bed, your stool, or the corner by the door. And like I said, those confines really lend themselves to forcing yourself to actually connect to the other person that is in there with you.
Oh, that's interesting. So what's your favorite scene, given what you just said?
Well, it's really like one big long scene. It's hard to pick a favorite. There's a lot of tension. There's a lot of conflict. There's moments of understanding and quiet, touching moments. There's a lot. Yeah, I can't really pick it out. It's such a, like I said, you shoot this arrow and you just let it travel all the way to the end. And it's just like one big, oh my God, did all that just happen? But there's a lot of challenges to it, you know, being respectful to the text. And then there's a lot of physical business. We've got a little kitchen in there. So we've got tea kettles, we've got blankets, we've got soap and towels, we've got grocery bags, we've got all kinds of stuff to deal with as we are living in that space. So it's been a challenge, but a lot of fun.
The thing that gets me is that's a real thing, being in a cell.
Yeah. Oh. And then having said all that, you're in this awful space where there's torture and sounds of screams, and God knows what the warden and the guards are up to on the outside. But when you're inside in your little space there, it's got to be your safe space, and you've got to make it as normal as possible, right? Normal in a not normal circumstance.
Right. And I got to tell you this, I was in the Navy for about 21 years, and I had a chance to meet some of the people who came back from Vietnam and who were these are American people, personnel, who were in cells for years.
Yes.
Not for days, years. Wow.
Yeah.
Really, you have to be, it's a hell of a road to be. Yeah.
A hell of a road to be in there, and then what that adjustment has to be when they come out, because again, what you've set for yourself within the confine of those four walls are so not what you will face when you come out into the real world again. So yeah, I can't imagine. I cannot imagine.
Wow. And the beauty of it for you is that at the end of the show, you can walk out the cell.
I get out.
Let me out.
I get out. I go home.
By the way, just so you know, we got a few extra minutes because you're your partner. If you don't mind, we can stay on after a little bit.
Absolutely.
We got a couple questions.
Absolutely.
Here's one I'd love to ask you. Ed, what excites you the most about this play?
What excites me the most about it is to present it again, not just as a giant musical, but to really concentrate on the words.
Yes.
And the connection between these two people. I'm excited about playing something, it's wrong to say outside my comfort zone, but something that I have not played before. I am queer, I am Latino, I love myself, and I can bring all of that to the table. So the really exciting part has been to explore someone so rich as the character of Molina is.
Right.
And on a personal level, my friends and family have never seen me in this context, and I'm very excited. I'm very excited for them to come see it. But again, I can't emphasize enough. We're just now getting into the tech stage of things, and there's beautiful original music, and there's a lighting design and a set design that's got a full concept about to sell it. I'm really looking forward to that, to see how we're going to marry all the work we've been doing just with the acting as we incorporate all this tech. I really think it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful piece.
Yes. The fact is, you mentioned a word, and it hits me like a baseball bat. I love it. And we talk about culture.
Yes.
You know, I tell my people, I'm a professor over at this little college down here in town, Santa Monica College. And I always tell my students, it's your culture. Know your culture. Learn your culture. And then while you at it, learn other people's culture too.
Yes, yes.
Ain't gonna hurt you.
Without question. Yeah, it's not going to hurt you at all. I mean, if they said to me, what's this play about? You can say, oh, this play is about love. No, you know what? This play is about connection. No, this play is about respect and opposing views coming together and learning from each other. No, this play is actually about how do you have a normal day in the strangest of circumstances. I mean, the menu is huge, what there is to explore here. And then tying it to today, because again, the novel written in 1975, and how do we apply what we're talking about as two people in 1975 and how it applies today. And surprisingly, it applied on many, many levels. I believe we have student matinees coming. I believe there's students reading the novel and working on that to come see it. And I think it's insane. It's going to be insane.
The beautiful thing about cultures for me is the food. The food is the variety.
Well, we're in a jail cell, so you only get a little bit of polenta and some watered down tea.
Yes. And I think you have to walk into a food with an open mind. You know, McDonald's is great, but you're not, it's someplace else, you know.
Yes, yes, yes.
Go get that good food.
I would love to actually just sit at an Argentinian restaurant and explore everything Argentina has to offer in the culinary way. I know all about Mexico, but yes, the food.
Yes. You get your hand up, and by the time you get finished,
exactly.
Do a little bit of that.
Exactly.
Question. How did you feel when you got selected for this play?
I was stunned. Like I said, I'd worked with Michael McKetty before, and the lovely Victoria Hoffman was the casting director for it. And when they called me, I was like, what, me? And then I would say, as soon as I started working on the script, and then when we got through the audition, I was so immediately emotionally filled. And I was driving home from the callback, and I believe they offered me the part maybe 25 minutes after the callback had finished. I was moved. I was surprised, I was elated, and then I was really scared. I was like, oh, I think it's Jennifer Coolidge that says something one time that you work and work and work to get a part, and then you get the part, and she's like, oh, no, now I have to do the part. Now the true work begins. But I was elated. I was beside myself, and I've known it since the end of last year, and I've thought of nothing else. I couldn't wait to start rehearsal.
Yeah. Ed F. Martin, one of the things I like about this job is that meeting actors and actresses and hearing their stories, how they started out with, I always ask my crazy question, what made you want to get into this business? And then you start there. You got to go to school. You got to get some education.
Education, yeah.
All that stuff.
And know that you want it. It's got to be your calling because it isn't easy. So if it's not, it almost has to be, you don't have a choice. It's just, it makes you live. Otherwise, do something more practical, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Support from your family and friends is a must.
It is indeed, and I was lucky enough to have that.
Yes. Absolutely. I don't want you to be an actor. I want you to be a lawyer, a doctor,
an engineer, this and that. I believe my father said international business. And then he took me through the tour of a theater school in Alabama, and he said, well, what did you think? I said, I'm sorry, Dad, I still want to be an actor. And he's like, well, as long as you're the best actor you can be, we're in. I love him to death. So
it's amazing the stories that they tell you. You have the award shows. I mean, the Academy Awards just came out just the other day. Some people were happy, some people were not happy. That's part of life.
Yeah.
But to see all of those people dressed as they were, men and women, to come in there, and the winner is. It was just a marvelous thing. I used to have a job a couple of years back. I was working for American Urban Radio Networks and Associated Press. And I think for about 8 years, I was covering the Academy Awards. And the one thing I love the best, beside all the good actors and actresses, you ready, Ed?
You better not say the food.
The food!
How did I know? How did I know you were going to go there?
And that food was G-double-O-D. We got time. I can tell you this one. I can remember when they had the food laid out. And I tease people. I said, look, you go up there, you get a plate, you see some shrimp or some whatever they had laid out. You reach for one, you put it on your plate. As you're reaching for the second one, someone snatches that plate and brings a fresh plate in.
Take me there. I want to go.
Oh, man. The food.
Oh, my God.
That's also one of my favorite things when I'm out there with you guys on the set. I like the food. Where the food at?
Yes, indeed. Craft table, craft services. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
But that's always fun. And another thing that gets me at the Academy Awards, the photographers. They're hardworking people.
Yeah.
When a guest comes walking through, they become different. This way. They be screaming and yelling. This way. I mean, look at us. Who are those people?
And then the poor stars themselves having to make a stop every 5 minutes and answer the same question the same way over and over and hope they don't trip over their dress, right?
Right. Over the red carpet. Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah.
Did you see what happened this year? They had a champagne color. It was different, no red carpet.
Oh, yes. I did
They
know.
tried something out this year.
Did you like it?
You asked my opinion. Excuse me. Huh?
It's not red.
No, it wasn't red. I was looking for the red. And I love when the big limos pull up. They have you get out in a special area, and the ladies come out to half nude half the time. It's cold as hell. Like for them, I feel sorry for them. They got to walk down the aisle, make it down past the red carpet. You know who's the first person out there when you get out there? He's my dear friend, George Pinocchio, Channel 7 Eyewitness. He's one. I worked with him for many, many years. Like that guy a lot. Really he's a professional and he's by choice because it's ABC. They're doing the work on it. He's the first person there, and he asked a lot of good questions. You know this?
Yeah.
What is it about being an actor that you don't like?
It's not the actor side. It's making sure that I make enough time for it. I have a full family. I have other work. It's what I don't like is not being able to commit 100% of my time to it. If I lived in a bubble all by myself, then if I wasn't doing a play, I want to be reading a play. And if I'm not reading a play, I want to be rehearsing a play. But you got to make time for other things in your life. The challenges of all the classic stuff about rejection and all the no's to get the one yes, you get used to it. And like I said, unless it's a passion, you're not going to stick around for that anyway. Okay. So, I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for the work that I have gotten through the years. Like I said, nothing fills me more than that. So there's nothing really negative to say about it other than making more time for it.
Got you. So when are you going to be?
Well, I'm up there in heaven playing my harp.
Come on, get on with
it.
Right? Question: when are you going to be a director?
Oh, you know what? No, it's too hard. They got to worry about way too many things beyond the life of the character. And I don't know. I'm not a producer. I'm not a playwright. God help me. I tried to write a poem once. It was about the Last Supper. It was terrible. I don't write. I want to be an actor. If somebody said come direct, I would consider it a good challenge. What I have loved is helping people that are younger than myself or friends and peers that are working on stuff to coach as an actor, to do coaching and audition prep and that kind of stuff. But a director, man, that's a lot bigger head. They got a lot more stuff to look at than I concentrate on.
But they make more money. Money.
But you remember we're not in it for the money until I become Tom Cruise, right?
Right.
So.
Yes, he is Tom Cruise. We have nothing but great love for him. I work with a group called the Tuskegee Airmen, and he keeps a P-51, which they used to fly out there at Santa Monica Airport.
Yeah.
Just a great guy. If you ever get it, I met him once, and just a great guy. And of course, his movie Red Top.
Yes.
Red coat. Top red. Oh well. Okay, here we go. Kiss of the Spider Woman. 4-week run.
Yes, it's April 1st. April 1st is opening night. We run till the 23rd at Noise Within in Pasadena on Foothill Boulevard. And get your tickets. They have a beautifully supportive subscription base, and there's a lot of tickets already sold.
Okay. April 1st means you're going to bring some champagne with you, right?
It's April Fool's Day. Nobody better get funny with anything. It's opening night. Let's have a little respect.
Respect. Give me some respect, y'all.
Who opens on April Fool's Day? Well, here we go.
Yes. Previews beginning March 26th.
And if you go to the website, there's all the information there and the CD chart and all that. All the information is at anoisewithin.org.
Okay. www.anoisewithin.org.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I understand that Dr. Miranda Johnson is going to be giving some kind of a preview on Wednesday, March 29th.
On one of those previews, she'll be doing a lecture. She is our dramaturg. She gave us all the research, gave us a bunch of information, political information about Argentina in the 70s, pictures of beautiful movie stars. She ran the gamut, and she was with us all at the beginning of the rehearsal process, and she provided all the research. She is the best, and she will be giving you some context and background of both the times and the play and the material.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I noticed that that's something that we've seen new in the past couple of years, where the people will bring in experts who can sit down and talk to a person who bought a ticket.
Yes, absolutely.
That's
and
good.
Just kind of, fill out the background for you and give you context of what it is you're looking at, and the time, the place, the culture, the attitude, everything that was going on there,
Did you say the culture?
I did. We said the culture. You're about the food and the culture.
Yes, sir. And not in that order. Not in that order.
Interview. Exactly. Depends on the day.
Actors, what I love about actors, here's a question we got 4 minutes left. You always ask an actor, what's next for you? So what's next for you?
Whatever comes my way, I am open to all possibilities. First, it's getting through this one, and I really do have to say this because it's going to sound cheesy, but I think it's important. Instead of thinking about what play is coming next, I want to make sure that I enjoy this one right now, because the rehearsal process goes by in a blur, and then the performances go by in a blur, and then it's just a memory. I want to enjoy it every single night because the role I'm doing is beautiful. The actor, Adrian Gonzalez, that I'm working with is beautiful. This whole experience has been so wonderful. I just want to concentrate on this one day at a time and enjoy every bit of it before the 23rd of April when we close. And then we'll see. My door's open, always open for my muse to get fed. So we'll see what comes next.
Okay. We have a surprise for you. Now,
yes,
I searched to find some video of you and your partner, Adrian, so that people could see what it looks like.
Yes.
Get one. But we found one that came out in 2007.
What?
Yes. Tony, can you run that for us, please, sir?
My mother had to work nights as an usherette in a cinema. She never complained. I, of course, adored it. It was a fabulous cinema. It had Egyptian decor. Since there was no one to look after me, she took me with her when she went to work. And she sat me in the front row. That's when I first saw my Aurora. Shut up, you fool. Listen. Oh, I don't hear what I don't want to hear.
Amazing. 2007.
I'll have to take a look at that clip, see if there's anything I can steal from them.
Yes. Oh, yes. If you go. In fact, since you brought that up, I have a friend of mine who started me on something. I got a minute. I can tell this one. We all have our knowledge, that amount of knowledge that we have. But there comes a reality as you start to get a little bit old or whatever, you just forget things, Here's what I say to you. I'd like to welcome you to a good friend of mine. You know this guy?
Yes, I do.
I call him the second brain. The second brain.
Everything is in here.
Everything is in there. What you don't know is in there. Wow. And I try to get my students to get in the habit of using it. The only time that you can't use it now, folks, understand, is when you get in an exam. But other than that, you can use it anytime you want.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Nothing wrong. It's just a natural thing. When you stop and think about it, because I tell my students, and you know this, there's a certain amount of space in there, but you can't add anything to it.
That's right. That's right. It's called bandwidth.
Uh-huh. My goodness. We happen to have a picture of the venue where you guys are going to be at. 3352 East Foothill Boulevard in Pasadena.
Beautiful
It's a beautiful
theater.
building. It's
gorgeous.
beautiful. Beautiful.
Gorgeous, and a huge lobby. The theater itself is in a thrust, so it's
Yes.
a big long arc, and the prison cell is kind of inserted right in there with you. So everybody's going to be in that cell with us.
Yes.
It's a beautiful space.
Yes, a beautiful building.
Space.
Wow.
Yeah.
It makes you feel good when you go into a beautiful studio.
Yes, and they've got great parking. There's great places to eat around there. Everybody needs to come. It's going to be an experience.
Okay. COVID-19 protocol?
I believe so. I would, I'm not positive about that, but we certainly have been during the rehearsal. So I would bring the masks just in case.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Ed, I thank you very much for filling in for Adrian and spending a little time extra with us. We got a lot out of you. Thank you.
It has been a beautiful pleasure. Thank you so much. I love the questions.
Remember, the play came from some stock. It's got great to see. I want to thank your publicist, Lucy Pollock, for having you guys out today. Best wishes to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Nice chatting with you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Where'd my thing go? Who took my thing? I want to thank our people and friends who came out here today to work with us. Is this it down there on the floor? Okay. We'll end it up by saying thank you very much for joining us. We have there he is. There's that young man. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I left that here. There it is. There it is. I found it. I think I found it. Yes, I found it. I want to thank our sponsors, Hobby Brandman, Photography as an Art, Ron Irwin's Lose Life, The Way to Lose Weight, Larry Buford's Book to the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule, State Farm agent Carla Green, and veteran actor Rob Brownstein's Actor Training School, an Actor Space. Now, much thanks to our guest today, actress, a veteran actress, that is, not just an actress, Adilah Barnes, actor Ed Francis Martin, and we want to thank him, these guys, of course. Special thanks to our ever-growing audience. Be well, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you next time. Take care.